Hi, and welcome to Wife's a Bitch podcast with my guest, my co-host today, Eugenia Kuzmina. I said it right. I know, I know her forever, but now I know
It's early
too early in the morning. I'm Victoria Arnstein, and we're just going to organically talk about whatever relationships and how everything's going with you. I have my merch here.
I feel like I'm on a therapy couch.
I didn't introduce her properly, but she's an actress. She's a model, as you can see. I mean, I don't even have to tell you that she's a model because she looks like a model. Even if she wasn't a model, I'd tell her to go model. That's how pretty she is. And I'm going to say how we met. How did we meet?
How did we meet? Through Barry Katz.
Yes, Barry Katz's Blueprint. I had him on the podcast too, a couple of podcasts ago. You could check that out. But we connected right away, I think, on the Blueprint. And there's a Zoom call, and there's a lot of people on it. And for some reason, out of like even 50 people, we connected.
Oh, yeah, you were talking about your book, right? And like, how,
impress yourself.
There's like a lot of interesting things that, you write about.
Yeah, yeah. So I was talking about that, and I didn't even think anybody was really paying attention to what I had to say because we really have like a minute or 30 seconds to talk. Sometimes he gives us 2 minutes. And, it was like a shared thing that I was doing. And, I just loved that I was connecting with other like-minded people. Like,
you are funny. Like,
aw,
well, I was like, oh my God, who is this girl? She's cracking jokes. She's like on it, and I think I love your jokes. They're so relatable and
thank you.
Really like fast paced. And I love what you're doing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. It's funny because you never think you're really heard or appreciated or seen. It's such a competitive world of comedy. Well, comedy is so competitive that it just gets to a point, like especially in New York, and you're in LA. She's running to LA right after this. But you see the scene. It's a very saturated business. I was doing it in Hawaii where I was a big fish in a small pond. I was living there for 7 years and I was honing my skills out there. But you come to a city like New York and LA and you just, you're at an open mic with 100 people right there.
It's so unique. I mean, there's nobody like you,
Oh, thank you.
Story. I mean, you have such a crazy life story. So it's like nobody can replicate it.
That's true.
Why I love that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I really appreciate that because that's what my goal is, to get my little footprint out, and hopefully somebody out there will relate to it or want to hear it.
Aliens, hello.
Yeah, maybe an alien. So you've been a model for how long? And
since I was born, literally, they took me out of the hospital. They took my mom and they took me to photograph for some newspaper. And in Russia they separate babies and mothers.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's how big. That's why we're in therapy all the time, because we have like very cold connections.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they take kids right out, and then the mothers like have to be in one place for a week and babies in another. So our attachment style is very like detached.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah,
but you guys are so efficient at stuff anyway. My husband loves Russia. He's part Russian.
Yeah,
like his family's from Russia and Germany, and a Jewish guy from Germany and Russia, but he actually loves Russia culture, and so does my daughter. Yeah, my daughter loves Russia too. Like they love that culture. They love. My daughter was learning the language on her own. She just picked it up. She loved it.
We'll recruit her to be a spy for sure.
So the reason why you were on Blueprint was also you're an actress. You've been in a lot of movies. You were in that movie with Matt Rife that I went to go see that premiere, and that was a great thing to see you in.
Matt, if you hear this, all my friends steal my phone and text you. It wasn't me. I swear to God, like I feel so embarrassed.
No, don't.
I swear to God,
don't feel embarrassed. Everything happens.
It's crazy. All my girlfriends are like in love with him.
Who's
and they
not?
steal my
Who's
my
not
phone.
in love with him? Everybody's in love with him.
I don't know.
Even guy friends are
He
gonna
was
be in
my
love
son
with him.
in the movie. So
He was your son in the movie. But no, I mean he blew up, and for good reason. He's he is who he is, and he made it, and he pierced through that crazy film of like I said, the tough exterior, and he pierced through and he got in, and good for him for it. He deserves it, and I think he's great. I think he's great. I think
I was just really happy that Nikki Glazer texted on my Instagram when I broke my head. I fell down and broke my head.
Yeah,
She's like, really nice scar. like very modeling.
Yeah, so you got connected. You're connected now with comedy too. So that's what I wanted to talk about with you also, because that's why you were on the Blueprint. You're a model, you're an actress, and you're like, wait, I have something else I want to try.
Well, Barry helped me to start Models of Comedy. I was kind of like doing different things and, just finding my niche in comedy. And he's like, well, you should do Models of Comedy because nobody done it before. And I was like, okay, I can give others a voice. There's things that I can explore about like modeling and like, because a lot of times we're objectified, as
You have a unique story. I mean, come on. Like, who's a model that's comedian? Maybe they look like a model.
couple.
Nikki Glazer looks like a model, but she wasn't a model first. So you went into a whole new genre and a whole new career.
I know.
I mean, it's just, if you want to take it as a career, if you want to take anything as a career, you could do either one. You could do acting, you could do, now you have a choice. You know what I mean? And it also helps in acting. And acting helps with comedy, I think, because I was an actress first.
Yeah.
So I was theater.
Well, you can do anything you want. I think there's no like limitations.
Right.
People always want to put you in a box and you're like, you're this or that. Or what do you do? Like, what do you prefer to do?
Right.
I'm like, I like everything.
I love that you go for it. I love that you go for it. It's so important that, any artist out there that, just staying one thing, and maybe you're struggling with that one thing. Maybe if you do a few things, like even comedians have to do some other things besides comedy. They should maybe live a life and not just do comedy. And because that gets stale also when you just do comedy, just do open mics, you just talk to comedians. You need other things in your life to make it more colorful. Maybe an improv class, maybe an acting class, things that make you more well-rounded. Just like I said, in the comedy, you should also learn to host your shows. Or host shows. It's just another muscle that you have to learn. You have to learn to connect with people. I have a good friend, Sherrod Small, who you met. He's a comedian, and he saw one tweak that he gave me that was a very good tip. Because I'm a theater actress, I tend to not want to break the fourth wall. But he said, you're not really connecting. You're telling your jokes, and you're looking at the audience, but you're not connecting with them on another level. So I took that to heart, and that was the one thing it was like a light bulb. I'm like, oh my God, that's what I'm missing.
Yeah.
So I started talking to the people instead of at them. Yeah. And that was the one thing that changed that I was like missing. And I think
goosebumps because I think it's what it is like in a relationship. Sometimes we talk at people, even like the closest people we know.
Yeah.
And like, talking about like the family you used to them, right? So you just like, okay, you expect everybody just to, you kind of like already know what they are, but you have to connect at every moment, I think, for anybody.
Right. And it's like, it's another game changer for me. And I've been doing this for 12 years and I didn't see that. I wasn't connecting the way somebody else saw it. I thought I was connecting. I thought I was talking to a couple of audience members. And in fact, I was always thinking that was like off script. Maybe I shouldn't do that. It's not professional. It's not Tonight Show worthy. But a comedy club is not Tonight Show. They're not there for the Tonight Show. They're not there for a television thing. They're there to laugh. And however you make that happen, sometimes it's with crowd work. That's probably why Matt Rife is doing so well. Because sometimes you need to just connect. And that's where the fun is. That's where the gold is.
Yeah.
It's not from your written joke. And your written jokes are there. They're not going anywhere. You could still incorporate them and they won't know. But the connection is what I think makes everything electric.
It's very hard to be vulnerable, and I think it's very courageous to do that because you really don't know what's going to happen.
And I don't know what's going to fly out of my mouth. That's my biggest problem because I'm very offensive. I have very offensive humor a lot of times. So I think I'm going to really offend somebody in that time. So, and there's no backsies.
It's comedy. Come on. It's not cancel culture.
I agree with you. That's why I'm putting on a anti-woke comedy show. And I'm going to go on tour with this, guys. If you're out there, that's what I'm doing. I'm done with the woke. I'm done with the whole offended. You're offended. I don't care if you're offended. Comedy should be the Wild West. No borders.
Yeah.
No boundaries.
I know. I agree. That's what unites us,
That's what
right?
I loved about it. That's why I loved comedy in the first place because it was like that. And then they took it away piece by piece. You can't say this. You can't say that. I'm done.
Okay. We're not banned, right? From anywhere.
I don't even care. Okay. Banned from everywhere. I don't even care. That's why I got to do my own thing because I'm banned from everywhere, right? But so your modeling career took off when you were really young, like from birth.
Yeah.
And
I didn't sign for it, but
So then you took in acting after that, or we were actors first.
Actually, like they found me at my school to be in one episode of like SNL Russian show Yerlash. It's like a really weird show where you have kids, but it's kind of like SNL's kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in that, and usually in Russia, we had like 4 channels. There was no entertainment, and anybody on TV was kind of like a child of government official. Everything was like propaganda. So
Did
I
you
don't
know English there, or you didn't know English?
No, it was in Russian. So I didn't know English, and then
Your English is amazing now.
well, thank you. Yeah, I mean, I've been here for a while.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You still hear I barely hear an accent, but yeah.
And it's so funny because they like in Hollywood, they always tell you like, oh, you have to lose the accent and now audition for something. And they're like, oh, can you be more authentic Russian accent? I'm like, you mean fake Hollywood Russian accent? Like, I don't really talk like that.
You never talk like that.
No, but it's so funny for me because we're all diverse, but the diversity thing, it's like I'm Russian, like how much more Russian you want me to be? Like my accent is not like fake Russian; it's real Russian.
Right, and you're very international because you're a model. You've traveled around the world, so you didn't really learn English. You speak French. You didn't even really learn English from America alone. I'm sure you were in London a lot of that time.
Yeah.
So there's like that, when you learn from, I wish I learned my English from England because their English accents are gorgeous.
It's really hot.
But it's different when you have American and you're in London and you're thinking, how's the dialect alone? It's just hard.
Yeah, I feel in French.
So you speak French too. So you speak French, Russian, and English, and any other languages?
A little bit. Like I understand Portuguese and Japanese just because I lived there for my modeling career. So it's been really fun. I can't wait to go back to Japan. Actually, really obsessed.
Unbelievable, really.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable. So you wrote a book also, Model Mom.
Yeah, I was part of the stories with other women.
She's a mom.
Yes, yeah. I'm a mom. Am I? Okay, my kids probably would be like, Biden's.
Don't they all?
But yeah, when I became a mom, it was like early in my career and all my model friends were partying and I was like, oh my God, I have to stay with kids. So I felt really, I couldn't find a community, because I felt like as a mom, you always have to like dress down and look like you're really tired. And as a model, you have to like good short skirts. So I could never belong anywhere. So I created this blog, Model Mom, and found other women who were inspired about their careers and like passionate about things because I felt it was too early to give up, in my like early 20s, like my whole life to, to just be a mom. And then during 2020, I was doing this show. It's kind of like TED Talk, but the lady started, Gertrude, she started her platform, which is Her Story. And it was a book, part of Her Story with all the other women about transformation. And it was amazing. It was like incredible people who were part of this book, and I published it, and we went to like Barnes and Noble and everywhere. It was really fun.
It's really like she does it all. She wrote a book. She did everything. Yeah. So, what's next for you? Like now you have this Models of Comedy show that is starting to really take off. Yeah. I was in that too, even though I'm not a model.
Yeah, no, come on, everybody's a model.
Everyone's a model. I'm a model airplane. No, I'm a model. I'm a model for National Geographic. No, I model my earlobes. Anyway, I model on a wedding cake. That's what I told everybody when I came to her.
I'm not a role model for my kids. Everything else is model.
You got to roll with it. Anyway, so I think that you have a very interesting life, and so who you married to? If you wanted to divulge who you married to,
am I married
in the business? She forgot. That's a good sign.
No, my husband used to run Miramax after Harvey.
After Harvey,
not anymore. So yeah,
Harvey Weinstein actually asked me out once.
Oh, that's very cute.
I said no. That's it.
I mean, yeah, like I never had problems with him. I never had problems with him.
I just never said yes.
Him,
he did a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
that was good. Also, everybody focuses on the bad. Anyway,
we're all flawed people.
Everybody's flawed, and I'm sure Holly Weird has a lot of other stuff that they have to deal with.
I know
right now. So they have lists and lists and lists that they're dealing with right now. So
I know. I thought
I was
it was
nowhere
all
near it.
normal.
I was
I
nowhere near it.
never understood that Hollywood is not normal.
Yeah.
So,
Right. But I mean, that was Hollywood's normal. You know what I mean? But a lot of things are coming out now. I don't even think anybody cares. I don't even think if a list comes out right now, I don't think anybody cares. Everybody's so phased. Everything becomes old news 5 minutes ago. Like you could do bad stuff now, and it just gets erased. Like what? Remember that story with the guy that that guy just shot the CEO of United Healthcare?
yeah.
Where's that story? Like it's gone. It's gone. Everybody moved on. They're on to something else 10 minutes ago. They don't care anymore.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Unless it comes back up in the press, nobody's paying attention. Everybody's on their phones and the
that's
news is a
true.
mile a minute. That's the good news about doing something bad because it gets erased 10 minutes later.
Are you
But
planning to?
what? I mean, it's there for life, but people are moving on. People don't have the attention span that they used to.
Yeah, that's true.
They used to linger with a rumor and a
That's true.
really bad scandal. It used
Yeah.
to linger. Now it doesn't linger anymore, which is good news also, for somebody that's doing bad stuff. They're canceled for a minute and then they make a comeback. Like Louis C.K. made a comeback,
I know.
which I don't think he should have ever gotten canceled. I'll say it. I don't care.
Yeah.
You don't have to agree with me. I don't care if you're a feminist or whatever you want to call yourself. I don't agree with that. I think that he didn't do any crime and I don't think he should have been canceled. He does what he does. Nobody was surprised. He laid it out for you on stage, told you everything he did.
Yeah.
And then everybody's shocked afterwards. I mean, and there were women that are also complicit, they also.
Hypocrisy, I don't understand that. That's the only thing. Like, of course, I believe in, like
Right, the
being
hypocrisy.
kind and everything else, but just the hypocrisy.
Right.
I don't get it.
Right.
Or like, at least like stand up. Like, you're a bad person. Like, I'm a gold digger.
But he
I
did
can stand up for that.
So, Zach, you really do like my humor. My humor is very into not being a feminist. No, to me, the definition of feminism is having a choice. And that we did pave the way. That we did have the career if you want it. If you want to work your ass off and not have someone else do it for you, do it. But I'm saying I don't want to do that. It doesn't make me a bad person. It just means that I don't want to have to do certain things that other women are, pioneering and doing. I love the message in the beginning for feminism. That was great. We could vote. We could have equal rights. Fine. But the whole having to do everything a man's doing, I think we're very different. Genders.
I agree. I mean,
I don't think we could do everything they do, and I don't think they could do everything we do.
Well, yeah, I mean, like for me, if the man can't earn his living, like why do I need a man?
Right.
I don't know.
Right. It all comes together. I mean, like there's a puzzle that connects, and there's a reason for it. For me, relationship wise, I mean, we're so different. I think that women have a lot of intuition that men don't have.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things women offer and a lot of things men offer. And I think that a lot of women seem to bash that about a man. And
I think having a choice, like you said, I think everybody has a freedom to choose what they want to be and how they want to live this life.
Right.
And like leave everybody alone.
Yeah, the freedom is great. So when feminists hear my jokes sometimes, they're like, I don't understand. Don't you want your own, career and whatever? And yeah, maybe, but I don't have to. And that's the beauty of being, a feminist to me.
Yeah.
That's my definition of a feminist.
Yeah.
Somebody who has a choice. And I do believe that it is a nice dynamic where the male provides and the woman, could do other things and have the freedom to maybe be a stay-at-home mom. I think that's a nice thing. And if the man wants to stay home, fine.
I just print my own money.
Yeah. So I knew it was wet when you came in. I touched it. It was still just fresh. That didn't happen. But so we should read some relationship questions that were written into me.
Well, ask me for advice.
Yeah, ask her for advice. All right. Somebody wrote. Some people don't write too many details, so I have to go with that. And some people write too many details. Okay. So this person says, and I'm not going to even say names. I'll just name him Bob because, he doesn't want me to say his name. So it's going to be anonymous. So if you want to write into wifesabitch.com with your questions, I'll answer them either solo or with a co-host. So this person writes, my boyfriend of 2 years keeps flirting with all of my girlfriends, and he says he's doing it to be on their good side. Should I be worried?
I mean, I don't believe in jealousy, just like you said, freedom of choice. If he's after anybody. Like, why do I need him?
Right.
I have like self-respect. So, go flirt. I mean, also like, I think it's healthy. Like, are you always going to be, with one person like the whole time? Like,
I mean, he's not blind. He went out with her for the reason because he was attracted to her.
Yeah.
Right.
I think for me, like, I was never a jealous person in that sense.
Yeah.
I have self-respect, of course, but, like,
I mean, define flirting. Like, where is it going after that? Are they talking in text afterwards? Are they meeting up later on?
As long as you're open and you're not lying, for me, that's what matters. Like, for me in a relationship,
right.
I don't mind. Things can happen, nothing is like perfect, right?
Right. I'm used to flirting. I got married. Yeah. I got married at 30, so I was flirting till 30, and then all of a sudden I'm going to turn that side of me off. Well, it's part of my personality.
I know. I had so many not boyfriends, but like literally, I was married. Like,
yeah.
But like, I had some guys who would be really jealous and say like, "Oh, you can't model now." It's like, what?
You can't model now?
Yeah, like they just get jealous. Like, you talk to other people.
Oh, you mean a guy? Right.
So
like,
right. Yeah, I think it's not healthy. I think flirting is healthy.
I think flirting is healthy, actually. Okay, we're going to move on to the next question. If my mother doesn't like my girlfriend, but my dad is okay with her, will it be a problem later if I take it to another level? Relationship is going on for almost 2 years.
I would
the mother's
say
never gonna
go to therapy. It's like talking about like Freud. Maybe it's like you choose somebody who's like your mother. Maybe he's like rebelling against that. I would like analyze it that way, but it would never.
Mm-hmm. Tell me what you guys think also, and you want to write a comment down below. My wife is constantly complaining. Are they talking about me? Is this my husband? My husband wrote in. My wife is constantly complaining, and she hates that I watch porn. But that's my way of getting a vacation from her. I can see why she's complaining. He shouldn't have said that. Plus, she's always refusing. Oh, she always refuses sex from me. So what the f? Married for 5 years, 2 kids.
I mean, having kids definitely changes the dynamic. A lot of divorces happen in like first 2 years because you have to pay attention as a woman to a child.
Right.
And I think you really have to be patient in a relationship. Yeah, but I think that you definitely have to talk about intimacy things.
Hormones, you gain weight, you're tired,
Yeah. I think it's all about communication. Honestly, like honest communication is everything. And men need sex. So
yes, I agree with that. And I'm going to say this. This podcast is not for you if you don't take care of yourself, ladies. And men too. You got to take care of yourself, have some self-respect. Everybody has kids. They're not going out looking like, Shrek, look good. Look good when he comes home, put the kids to bed early, maybe, make a nice dinner for him. And yes, don't refuse him sex all the time. Yes, he's going to be looking elsewhere. I mean, it's a man.
Yeah.
I mean, is an animal going to go, not search for food once he has no food somewhere else?
Yeah. Of course. I mean, it can be hard, when you have kids, you maybe like,
it could be hard, but not impossible.
Yeah. I think communication is number one.
Yeah.
Rule in any relationship.
And I think that a man that is doing that shouldn't just write her off and say, I need a vacation from her. I think he should be going out and telling her, I'll help you.
Yeah.
I'll help you. What do you want to discuss? Let's discuss it. Do you need more sleep? I'll take the kids.
Yeah, exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I'll get you a babysitter.
Yeah.
You know what? That's foreplay for me. When my husband took care of the kids or got me a babysitter.
Yeah.
Hello. He was sexy as hell after that.
Right?
Like, I didn't care.
I agree.
And by the way, mothers out there, I want to tell you, I have 3 grown kids. A good mother or a good parent puts their kids in good hands. Remember that forever.
Yeah, I mean, we used to grow kids as a community, right?
We used to have a village.
I never understood.
Yeah, we used to have a village. Now I was raising my kids alone. My kids, my husband was always away on business.
Yeah,
he was either running a marathon somewhere on a weekend and at a destination race, or he was out on business. And even till now, he's like, the kids raised themselves. What did you do? What did I do? I'll show you videos of what I did.
I know.
I mean, he wasn't even there for the hurricane where a tree fell down right next to my house on top of someone's roof. It could have been on my roof. He wasn't there for that.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? What's the big deal?
Yeah.
He wrote it off. Yeah, he wrote it off. So let's go to the next question. I'm married for 7 years, and my husband is always looking to do things alone. I'm very loving, but he says I'm nagging too much. Yeah, I get that. I was like that. We have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, 5 and 3. Is he avoiding me because he needs a break? I'm a little concerned. Things changed after we had our second child.
Yeah, and as I say, like things change as you have a kid. You have to check in with a person every day because we grow.
We're
Like I think
co-parenting too.
every they say like 5 to 7 years we become
7 year
different
itch.
people.
Yeah,
So you can go different ways.
that's true.
And you have to check with a person. And
That's true.
some personalities do need more time alone. Like
Yeah.
my husband and me, we don't even sleep in the same bedroom.
Okay.
So
Yeah, well,
it's much better.
At one point that happened with my husband and I, and we did break up. And that breakup was the best thing we ever did because now we're at a good place.
Yeah.
And, the last 5 years have been great, thank God. But 20 years were up and down. And there were times that I was nagging, didn't know it. I didn't know it until I realized it and I owned it. Ladies, own it. If you're nagging or you're needy, there's a reason. I'm not saying he was perfect and I'm not saying he should have neglected me, but I think that if you do the math and you trace it back, why is he leaving? Why is he going? There's something you're not doing. So why don't you figure that out too, or go to therapy together, which is what we did. That wasn't the only thing that we needed. I really did realize now in hindsight, I'm like, if I'm going to date another guy, I'm not going to be needy with him. So why do I have to be needy with my husband that I already have? I did all that work with my husband, invested all that time with him, and I'm going to do it for another guy. At the end, he's going to have problems also. I'm going to still have that neediness for him too if I don't take care of it myself. Impress yourself, do things for yourself, and they'll be attracted to you no matter what. Because if you're busy, I always say, always be doing things.
Yeah.
Always be busy. And my biggest problem with not working, honestly, I do get a little bit bored sometimes. I always have hobbies. I paint, I do other things, but, I'll go for a 2-hour walk or a run. But, you have to stay busy.
Well, creative, I would say, not busy,
Or busy just so you're not like thinking about why isn't he calling me today?
But sometimes like I think we become workaholics also. Like
That's
I noticed
true.
that, and you avoid yourself in a way. I think like you have to have a healthy reflection.
Balance is key.
Yeah, for sure.
Find your balance. And if you need more sleep, rest when you can rest.
That's why I overslept.
She overslept today. She was a late, bad girl. I woke up early for this. I don't wake up early for anyone anymore. And I'll tell you why. Because my kids are grown and my kids don't go to school anymore and I don't have to. I love that about me. But I wake up in the middle of the night all the time for like 2 hours. Mm-hmm. So that's why I'm like, I have to go back to sleep. And then I wake up early. I don't even make plans in the morning. And that's just my life now.
Great.
And I go to sleep late. You'll get there. Your kids are going to get older. You're not going to have to run around and you're going to wake up late. And it's the best. Mm-hmm. And don't feel guilty about it. I don't think school should start so early. School people.
I agree.
Why should it start so early? What is that?
I know.
And why should work start so early?
I don't know. I was never a morning person.
Yeah.
My mom would complain that I would be like the perfect baby sleeping during the day. And at night she had to walk me in the Russian forest. Like,
Yeah.
And that never changed. I can't wake up unless like I have to.
Right. Yeah. I had to put an alarm on today and I don't usually have an alarm anymore. That's it. I don't, unless I'm making a plane or something. Yeah, it's a good place to be, ladies. Yeah. If you can get to that point.
Yeah.
I mean, my husband had to go to work, but anyway. Listen, I always say, before he could smack me for saying what I'm saying, I just lift up my shirt. Forgets everything. Forgets it all. Boobs, ladies, boobs. All right. Somebody wrote, I'm tired all the time and I work more hours than my husband because he's having issues finding a new career. I'm an accountant and I babysit part-time. We are married for 3 years and he doesn't understand that sometimes I just want to sleep. We plan on having children, but we're still young, 25 and 26. Take your time.
I mean, I don't know how to answer that. I think it is.
He's still finding himself,
balance. Yeah. I think,
Yeah, be patient with him.
Yeah, exactly.
I think be patient with him and that's all you can do. If it's really bothering you, then, I don't know, kick him to the curb. Get the hell out of here. Find a home job, damn it. Do something. Like I said, be busy.
Yeah.
See, she's saying that, it's the other way around, because you got to have balance. You got to have, you got to also, somebody's going to be needier than the other in a relationship.
I mean,
Just try to tone it down.
goes
If
up
you're
and
the
down.
needy person, try to tone it down.
Yeah.
I notice that when I don't pay attention to my husband at all, I don't call him anymore at work. I used to call him all the time. I don't call him anymore. And he's like, well, are you alive?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm alive, but I don't call.
Yeah.
And he loves that.
I love that
He used
too.
to tell me not to call, and now he's like, why aren't you calling?
Yeah.
I see, I got him used to it. But another thing, you can get him used to it, be that way in the beginning, saturate, and then take it all back.
I don't know. The best thing that my therapist said is like, you're born and then you die alone, right? And then you just meet people along the way. So just be your own person, no matter where you are,
Impress yourself. And by the way, yes, we all die alone. By the way, don't get married because you think you're going to die with someone. What are you going to grab them in your grave? It's so selfish. Right? A lot of people say, could you come with me in the car? I'm scared to drive by myself. What? So you want to kill us both? I just started a relationship, but I think this is the last one. I just started a relationship, but I used to date for years. This is my first committed relationship. I'm 22 and he's 35, and he was married, but only for a year, and he doesn't have any children. I'm not used to having an exclusive relationship, but he's so good to me. I guess I don't have a question. But 4 months in, and he's already talking about marriage. Should I continue? Yeah.
I mean,
why not?
If there's no red flags, if he's not like a psychopath, yeah.
Well, the thing is, somebody, I think it was Kevin O'Leary, Mr. Wonderful from Shark Tank, said, fight for your marriage, get married, but then fight for your marriage. A lot of people don't fight for their marriages. They just get divorced, or they just call it quits because they can. There's a lot of something to be said about not having too much money when you first get married, because you can't just run away. You don't have the finances to just get a lawyer and all that stuff. So I say fight for the marriage. So people are afraid to get married. It is the biggest commitment you'll ever make, and it is the biggest decision you'll ever make. But when you choose that, first of all, no one comes perfect. I don't know what you're looking for. They don't exist. Okay.
Yeah.
I've searched, trust me. All right. Even after I broke up, I searched again. There's no one perfect out there. My friend said, well, you're going to trade measles for mumps? What are you going to do? You're going to get somebody else with somebody else, something else.
Any relationship is a reflection. It's like a mirror, right?
Yeah.
So like whatever you don't accept in yourself would annoy you in another person.
That's
so
true.
Just look back at yourself.
That's true. That's a really good point. And I really, I appreciate all different perspectives. Like I said, if you want to write down below what you think, I think you have a very unique take on it also. But we all have to realize that, like I said, we're not dying with somebody. You're going to die alone. That should not be your reason to get married. Figure out what the reason is of why you want to be married. I mean, I wanted to be married for, I think, the wrong reasons in the beginning. Fairy tale, princess, Barbie.
Really?
By the way, Barbie,
I was never into that.
Never into it, yeah.
My friends were like, want to get married.
Like that.
I just had kids, so I kind of just married for them,
Right. So that's why you got married.
Yeah, like my son was 2, so I wasn't like even married, but like it's just like security for them.
Yeah, I was brought up in a very traditional home where everything was, marriage was the only goal. Only goal. Like it wasn't even a question. You get married. And a lot of people from my community get married at 18. I was 30, and it was a very late age for somebody that grew up thinking they were going to get married at 18. What happens to the rest of us when we don't find that guy at 18, 19, 20? What happens to us? So they don't even push a career move or schooling. Now they're getting better at it in my community, but they pushed you to get married. That was the only thing that mattered. And I just didn't find the right one at the time. So what happens in that limbo state? What happens when you don't find that one? You feel rejected. You feel like there's something wrong with you. And people look at you that way in the community because they're like, why are you not married yet? So that was always something that, and now I'm a big believer in, I never used to be. I used to think this was delusional to manifest things, but now I'm a believer. I don't know how this happened. I never thought I'd be a believer. I thought people were delusional, manifesting things. I'm like, yeah, you attract it. You attract that. I do believe it now. I do believe it now. And I realized maybe I was attracting that because I kept thinking I was rejected because I didn't find the right one. And it pushed me further and further into not getting married.
That's so true. It's all about your thoughts. You attract what you believe. That's
true. Your whole precision. It's all about perspective.
Yeah.
And if you're going to talk to yourself anyway, which you do all the time because you're with your thoughts only, then why not say good things? So I've been switching to say good things to myself.
I mean, coming from Russia, like we grew up in such negative beliefs, I remember. And I had to work really hard because when I went to Paris, my life was kind of better, and I come back and people are like, why are you smiling? Like, do you have mental problems?
Right.
In Russia, but I think it's like because their thinking is so negative. Like, I think I created this whole life just because I was thinking positive.
I'm not going to say my negativity just came from myself. It did come from my husband. He is a firm believer. He's very militant in a lot of ways. And because he ran ultra marathons, he went to Mount Everest, he did crazy things. So to him, it's like, get tough, like David Goggins style, stay hard, and he would give me that push, which created good stuff out of it. Somehow I grew up and I got out of like a bubble mindset where everything was like a bubble for me. But I truly, have to block out all the negative stuff he would say to me because he runs on negativity. If you tell my husband you can't do it, he'll do it. If you tell me I can't do it, I'll be like, all right, you're right. Maybe I can't do it. That's how I operate. I would operate with encouragement. Like, you're so good at something. I'm like, I am. My husband told me he thinks I could win a 100K race, which is running race, which is an ultra marathon. It's a marathon with mental illness. It's literally beyond a marathon, 62 miles. He says, I think you could be top 5. I said, really?
I love that.
And guess what? I won. First place. Yeah. So, the encouragement helped me. That was the type that I was. Yeah. So I have to reverse the stuff that he told me, not just the stuff that I tell myself.
Yeah.
I mean, it was coming out of him. It was coming out of, a little bit of a judgmental mom, a little bit of, because she didn't know how to operate. Yeah. Her mom judged her. So it was like, my sister.
You understand that, like, we all, my kids hate me at the moment, but they're teenagers.
Oh, teenagers. If you have a teenager, right down below. It is not easy. It's another animal. They're so loving in the beginning, and then they hate you. Hate. Yes. I couldn't even touch my daughter's phone. She goes, "Don't touch my phone."
I know.
Don't touch it. Why? Because I don't know what you. Where were your hands? Where was my hand? Where were my hands? That's what she says.
Just begin to
What is this animal? She used to kiss me on top of me, and she used to want to crawl back in. I don't know what she was like. Now she wants nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
but only on her terms. But they do come full circle. I think.
Hopefully,
when they have kids and they understand that, or if they don't have kids, once they get older, I think they come full circles. Once they're out of that teenage stage, so there's hope for you.
Yeah,
because my kids are out of that. My kids are out of that stage. So. I want to talk about the Barbie movie because you're a model and you look like Barbie. But can we just say
so many jobs and Ken just had to be topless?
No pressure, no pressure or anything. But she had so many jobs, and I'm a little upset about that and concerned because I wasn't brought up that way. Yeah. To me, it was great. She had a choice, great. But why was Ken in the movie? In her dream house while she was out working? I was not a big fan of that. Yeah. Okay, and I didn't like that fact that. Was he gay in the movie? No, he wasn't gay. Right. Some people said he was gay before the movie came out. People had their thing, Ken is gay. But to me, I thought Barbie and Ken were an item. When I watched the movie, she didn't like him. I was pissed.
I didn't like the movie. I mean, I don't know.
I didn't like it either.
I really thought it, like, I started fighting with my husband after it. Like, it just created a lot of
tension.
Yeah.
Why? Because it made you feel like you're better than he is?
I don't know. I think he got pissed about some jokes in the film.
Oh, he watched it with you?
Yeah.
You got your husband to watch this?
Yeah, we went with my daughter. So we all started fighting in the car after.
It's hilarious. My husband would rather stick needles in his eyes and watch it. He's such an alpha male, my husband.
I don't know. I didn't understand the whole joke thing, like the storylines.
And then music, all of a sudden they're breaking out into song and dance. Like,
I don't know.
Not very cringe, very cringe for me. And I didn't think Ryan Gosling looked good in it. at all.
Yeah, I used to hang out with him a long time ago.
Oh, you did? Things I never hear from anyone. You have a definitely different lifestyle than I. I have met celebrities and I don't get starstruck,
Me
but
too.
you hung out with them.
No, well, yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
brought like 6 guys to his house one time. I was trying
that's
to,
another
but he
story.
didn't.
You want to tell? We have time. She has to run to the airport. But also, I just want to say that, yeah, the Barbie movie did not impress me at all. I wasn't impressed with it. And a lot of people just like took off with it, the speech and all that. You know, by the way, the speech that the girl, what's her name? America Ferrera?
Uh-huh.
She gave that speech. And the only thing I got out of that speech was she was like, manipulate a man. Like, until he does find out that you're great. Like, oh, yeah, that makes the most sense. Out of the entire thing that she said, yes, manipulate your man. Guys, men are not running down the aisle to go marry you. Men don't want to get married in the first place. In fact, in Judaism, if you know this, it's an obligation for a man to get married and not for a woman. And the reason is because a man naturally doesn't want to get married. A woman does. That's the natural course. So, ladies, you gotta have to try to, like, if you're still single and you want to get married, you gotta get him down that aisle somehow. I mean, you gotta make a sale. I'm sorry. You gotta take care of yourself. You can't be a phony. You gotta be authentic, but also you gotta be vulnerable. Don't be so strong. Don't be so, I can do it better than you can. I can do the same things you can. Because a man doesn't have to marry that. He'll just hang out with his guy friends.
Women have incredible intuition.
Yeah.
It's like, I think you have to listen to your intuition.
Yeah, but a lot of people are ignoring it. A lot of women are ignoring it because of their careers and then you find out a woman also has a career and then all of a sudden wakes up at 40 and says, I want a kid. Well, where were you? Where were you during the birthing time when, that biological clock is ticking?
Life is complicated,
Yeah, it's complicated, but I feel like there are women that just wake up later and they're like, oh my God, my career took up all my time, didn't really go anywhere with it, or it did, but then they want kids. And then they're like, so that's why I say find a balance.
Just live in the moment. That's what I would say. Just like make sure that you're happy with what you have in the moment, because you never know what will happen. Like there are women who abandon everything and then wake up and like, where's my career? So I think it's like not perfect.
That's true too. That's true too. So I think that navigating, it always comes down to that balance.
Take responsibility for your choices.
Right. And right. That's also true. But also find that balance while you're doing it, while you're on your journey. Say, wait, am I going to want kids later? Is that completely off the table? Or am I going to want a career later? Is that completely off the table? I feel like you could start a career at any age, but there is a time window for the kids. Like there's only a certain amount of time. But a career, you could start a career. The Colonel from KFC was 65 when he first started.
Yeah.
So you have time for a career if you really had to.
At least in Hollywood, I still feel like, I mean, as a model,
as a model and an actress, yeah, there's a window there too.
I think so.
Maybe not an actress.
Somebody trying to tell you that, like for a longest time, but
yeah, but they're changing some of the goalposts. Like Martha Stewart was on the cover of whatever.
Yeah. No, I think you can do whatever you want. Just don't listen to other people.
Right. But I'm saying that if you're just like focused on one thing, career or just kids, and then you miss everything, you still have time for a career after you have kids, but you don't have time for kids after a career. That's what I'm saying. Because there is a window. It's not. I didn't make humans. Anyway.
Well, look, Giselle got pregnant at 44.
Yes, some people can, but some people can't.
Yeah,
and they find it difficult, or they'll have problems with the pregnancy and all that stuff. So complications arise. Look, like I said, I didn't make humans. Don't hurt the messenger. Okay, I'm just saying it. But anyway, we're gonna wrap it up because I know you have to get to the airport. But is there anything you want to add and where people can find you?
Google people. Google
Eugenia Kuzmina and .com, I guess, and on Instagram it's Eugenia Kuzmina.
Yeah,
Kuzmina with a K.
Yeah,
and I loved having you.
Thank you. New York, I love you, New York.
She loves New York. Stay longer. Yes. I also have my website, wifesabitch.com, and on Instagram you can find me at Victoria Makes You Laugh, although I'm shadow banned right now and can't imagine why. And then also, write in with your questions, and also find us on YouTube and Spotify. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
See you guys next
See you.
episode.
Bye.